so hard to get celebrities on the podcast these days.
Yeah, right.
I can't believe I managed to like put together all my savings to book you for today.
Listen, man. I mean, sometimes you gotta pay to play, bro. Like
when the Zell goes through.
Trying to, I'm trying to support my people.
I appreciate.
It's Black History Month. Discounts. I'm giving discounts all February, so we good.
La like this.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back. I'm not gonna play with the mic today. I'm not gonna touch the mic.
Whoa, my fault.
It's New York.
It's been a long.
New York.
It's my first time back. I haven't recorded a podcast in a very long time.
You gonna throw out an AO this episode?
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I was still on point.
Backstory behind this is every time I start the podcast, I do this for no apparent reason. There's no adjustment needed.
Okay.
If you watch this on YouTube, you'll know what I'm talking about, because as soon as I start the podcast, you'll hear a bunch of fumbling.
Okay. I get it. Good context, you need the backstory.
So contextually, for New York niggas, that's what I mean. Because we all know what the mic means in New York.
Respect. As long as you moved to Cali, I don't know.
I don't know. What I did, I moved to West Hollywood.
You might have lost your roots. Listen, man,
North Hollywood, not
I don't
West.
know what goes on.
Man, I lost my roots. Get real queer here in the West Coast.
I don't know what's going on, but you always gonna be my friend.
I accept you for who you are.
You
could be who you.
I'm an ally, brother. I am an ally. You feel me?
You're an asshole. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Love Like This, the before, during, after of falling in love. Today I have here with me a good friend of mine, basically kind of like the mayor of L.A. As soon as you step in, you just got to check in with this guy, and not the extortion check-in. Nah, just a hey, what's up? Because if you don't say the hey, what's up, you can't get into no parties. You can't go to no parties.
I used to, not no more, man. Because I don't even be outside like that no more. But
you can't go outside.
Okay.
You can't go inside unless you check with my guy Flyry right here. How you doing?
Thank you for bringing me on your beautiful space. I always love being here. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But I'm back.
Yeah, you are back. Welcome back, Slayer, to Good Media. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for repping New York.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate that. There's been a lot of non-New York recordings going on, so I'm happy to have some type of representation in the house. I feel very comfortable.
I'm here.
Speaking of New York, I want to give a shout-out to my love. She was recently had an interview on The Breakfast Club.
Oh, I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
The price is up. Yesterday's price is not today's
No discounts,
price.
No DEI.
None of that. February, I'm giving this. I can't speak for them.
None at all.
None of that.
None at all.
Price went up.
Yeah.
Congrats to them.
I love that interview. It was beautiful. And, not to narcissistically put myself into it, right?
But you had a lot to do. What's going on? Not to undermine anyone's accomplishments, but
I'm a small slice of the pie.
It's a big pie. You're a big slice of a big pie. Okay? Never sell yourself short, my brother. Always know there's a king there somewhere.
Speaking of a big pie, my shorty went to that interview with that goddamn ring on her hand. And I know they got some good cameras at that Breakfast Club interview, and boy, it picked up that ring real nice.
That was looking bling blang.
It was real nice.
I've seen it, but I ain't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I reposted the video, the clips that the Breakfast Club put out, and I made sure the cover image. Make sure I got the ring and the cover image.
You got it.
She was like this. You know how it blur when you move. I have to get at the right stop.
Listen, you should have just had it like this the whole time, just to record him talking it back. But it was
like
just one
this.
still.
Just don't even move. Just talk.
See that bling blah.
Bling blah. Oh man, but. No, shout out to them. Shout out to everything they built. Good media, good moms, bad choices, and yeah, it's good to see my girl on the radio station of New York.
Say it again. No, you can say other words now.
My fiance.
Okay, talk to him.
It's good to see my fiance.
Yeah.
On the radio station that I grew up on.
Yep.
I listen to every morning.
Everyone.
To hear her voice coming out that station through the car speakers. Man, that means a lot to me. Coming from New York, I'm proud of you, baby, and I want you to know that.
That's love right
She's
there.
never going to hear this stuff. I've been telling her to listen to these episodes. So this whole month I've been doing episodes where I interview men talking about the origin of their love story because I, not narcissistically, of course, want to be better in my marriage.
You trying to just show us up. Nigga, that's not
Basically.
right. Okay, I know I'm here.
You know what your job is.
How lost I am. Okay. I'm here for it. Whatever.
So I've been bringing on all my friends, whether single, whether taken, to know about like how love was for them in like the beginning of their life and where it just like ends up now for them, so that I can learn from them and that I could be a better husband for my girl. I don't know.
I'm here to learn from you too.
Yeah, I don't know how helping everybody else, but I don't know specifically.
You try. This is for you. This is a help you pod.
Yeah. But I will say that I've gotten. You know how people like to drag and be like, mad people be hitting me up.
Yeah.
I've gotten one person that said, thank you for this month of podcasts with these one-on-one interviews with men. Like, it's really been killing. They've really been feeling it. And to be honest with you, that's all I fucking needed.
Yo, bro.
All I need is one person, one comment to be like, yo, thank you very much.
Because one turn into 10, 10 turn into 20, 20 turn into a big.
And you know how it happens when the ball starts rolling.
Big contract.
Big contract turns into
money.
Black and
Just know, when they hit you up,
yeah.
they gonna say, yo, that one you had, yeah.
With that guy Ryan?
I was there. I used to do this.
Yeah, I want y'all to, but what he up to?
Yeah, but what's up with him?
Let me get my guy Ryan on the
I'm just a little piece of the pie.
Listen. You don't become a celebrity without Flyry right here.
I'm just, look, I'm in the background. I'm not an influencer. I just happen to influence.
Ooh.
I mean, that's it. That's all.
My boy, this guy is always doing something with his voice.
That's it. That's all.
Thank you for coming in today.
Absolutely.
I wanted to speak to you, get to know you more as a friend. Also, that's the other part of like doing these interviews so that men can, men can hear other men's origin stories and what they go through and just find some kind of similarity so we could all help each other because, it's always the goal with love. I think that men are more in their like soft men era in an instance, but I don't really call it soft men. I really call it real men era where we're actually getting into what real manhood is, not this false perception of manhood and, what we should be doing as men that's really actually leading us astray away from love and strength and possibilities and stuff like that, right?
Absolutely.
So I want to start off. Favorite question to start this is, how was love for you growing up, like within the household, love and marriage, for you as with your parents or siblings or friends and stuff like that?
It was, all right, I'll be real. It wasn't really there. Like, I was loved. Don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, I was raised by my mom. My pops wasn't really around. Not really. He wasn't around until I got older. And at that time, it was more of like a friendship rather than a father-son thing. But I was loved a lot. Like, there was a lot of people around me, like my mom, my aunt, my grandma, my tribe around me. It was a lot of love. But as far as, I'll say, like, the affection behind it, the hugs and the I love yous, that wasn't there. So when it comes to love with me, it kind of means different things. I never looked at love as you needed a hug or somebody had to tell you I love you when you got off the phone or when you left the house or whatever it was. It was just like, all right, my mom's cooking for me. She's working hard as hell. She's working 2 jobs. We get to go on a little trip here and there. Whatever we do, it's like, that's love to me. Yeah. As I got older, I realized that there's also trauma behind not getting those hugs and getting those words. And that affection is something that I needed. So I guess that's why I'm more of an affectionate person. I think I turned the opposite of what I was raised on. And now it's starting to come about with my parents, how they're more affectionate. Yeah. Like, my mom will catch herself, oh, I love you. Like, get on the phone, like, all right, bye. Oh, I love you. It's like, okay. Yeah. I know why you're saying this, and I'm happy you're taking those steps, but it could have happened earlier, but it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah. I'm also realizing, and it's crazy how the cycle of the world is always just like always the same. Our parents, or we get older and then they get like more affectionate and softer, that the morality of life starts sitting in.
But my dad, I've talked to my dad more times in the past 2 years than I talked to him my whole life. Like, he calls me, texts me. Like, I just texted him, I went to get some food. I just texted him, yo, what's up? He calls me, hey, what's up? I'm like, all right, man, I hear you, like, but it's at first like, yo, come on, but then it's like, you realize, like, you don't know how much time you have with these people. Yeah. So understanding and accepting the way they want to love when they want to love you is like, fuck it. Like, let's.
Yeah, you gotta take what you can.
I take what I can, and that's what I'm doing. I'm embracing. I'm in my like embracing phase of my parents, at least. I know kind of in a way like what I want in some relationship as far as like friendships or in a romantic relationship, but as far as like I think parents love, that was the hardest thing for me to navigate and figure out.
My just like similar to you, I've spoken to my dad and mom more in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 3 years, and I've only spoken to my dad 3 times in the last 2 weeks. But it's more.
It's 3 more times than you did in the last 3 years.
Now that he's the one calling me, I like the front. Like I got mad dad. Like I got a dad roster.
Oh, yo.
So yeah, I
talked to my dad today.
I did.
Feel me?
Or I texted my dad and he called me and I was in the phone in the car with Mila. I was like, this nigga calling me. Now he called me.
Well, before it's like, why he never called me? Now it's like, yeah, this nigga calling me now. Yeah,
this nigga
he know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, if you can embrace it in that way, that's beautiful. Because some people never get that call.
Right. And it's also, honestly, when I think back to our childhoods and stuff like that, it's also kind of saddening that we are, some of us are missing out on some part of the nurturing that we need as kids. And, I don't actually believe in this, but I know they say that, men are supposed to protect and provide, women are supposed to be like caring and nurturing. I think that both parties need to do all 4 and also add on love onto that as a necessity when you bring a child into the world. So like your mom not saying I love you as much or at all, or showing the affectionate part, but doing the providing part, and something that's supposed to happen between 2 people, she's doing between 1, and then trying to figure out like which one is one to prioritize right now.
She had to be the mom and the dad.
Yeah.
So sometimes she was more of the dad, even though it wasn't like it's still my mom. I'm not looking at you like, oh, that's But it's like you had to play both roles, and at the time, I'm like, why is it like this?
Yeah.
Like, why? But I don't realize it until I get older. Like, why do you have to do both? But at the time, I'm like, this is what you're supposed to do. Like, he was never here. I don't know this.
Yeah.
You might have a mother and a father, and they might, like, I know some of my friends, not all, but some of my friends had mothers and fathers in the same house, and I didn't know. That wasn't a thing for me. So it was never even like a, why do you have this? It was like, I thought about that one time. Like, I got into it with my godbrother. We were younger. And he was like, yo, he was like, you don't know what it's like? I was like, yo, you got a step pops and all this. So he crying, yeah, but I'd rather not. I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, I don't got no father. You talking about, I'd rather get out. So that was the only moment when it was like that. But I never really compared it because that's what I knew. And I am not going to say that was my ideal like situation, but that's what it was, and I was gonna embrace it whether it was good, bad, or ugly. So
when did it start setting in that? Now I think that maybe around like a teenage years, we might say like, oh, I'm noticing that I'm not getting affection, or like young adult years. I know it's like I didn't get as much affection when I was younger, but when did it really start setting in that the affection may have been more important or a necessity for you?
Like right after I got surgery.
Kidney one?
Yeah, right after I donated my kidney, that's when I realized. Because my mom just like, she turned into kind of like a different person in a way. Like her emotions are very up and down. And it's very like walking on eggshells around her, to the point now I don't really care. Like I know what gets her tight, and it's just me not having no emotions. But I don't have emotions because of you. So it's like what gets her upset is the way I was raised. Like I was raised not to really like show my emotions on my sleeve and stuff. So when she's barking at me, and I'm just like, all right, champ, what you want me to do? She gets even more mad. I'm like, I know that gets you tight, but I learned that from you. Yeah. So go like, and I got surgery 2019. So after that, and me and my mom had a big ass fallout, and that's when I realized like, yo, like you never did this and you never did that. So I don't even know why the fuck I'm expecting it from you right now. And I guess once I was able to tell her that, then she was like, oh, like, this kind of meant something to him. Like, I don't think she ever realized it. But she grew up in a house with a mother and a father.
Is she from New York also?
Yeah.
And then the environment itself.
But it's a whole different, like, she grew up with a mother and father, and they split up. And then she was living there, and then she was living here. But my grandparents were married. I don't even know if they ever got a divorce. But they weren't, when I was around, they weren't never together. But they lived a block away from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yes, I
grandma's
do.
still cooking food. Yo, tell grandma, send me a plate. And it's always like that. So it's like, yeah, I saw relationships, but did I really see relationships? Nah, it's like what I made up. And that's why I always say, like, the biggest and the best relationships I saw were on TV. Like, that's how I knew affection. That's how I knew certain things. Oh, you supposed to say I love you to somebody when you get off the phone, or you supposed to get a hug? Like, I wasn't getting none of that. So,
you know what's crazy? We're starting to like go down this. I'm starting to go down this road of realizing that all of our stories are pretty much a bit similar. I've spoken to a friend who said that they've learned most of their affection and like family structure from TV. I spoke to a friend that really was like, my mom had to do everything, but she missed the mark on the affection. This is like, I'm realizing that we all have like all of these similar stories and similar dynamics. And also, speaking to people and they're saying like, I just made it up. I really just had to make it up because I didn't
write your own book sometimes.
Yo, for real. And it's really interesting. I had to make it up part because you're writing a script from no experience. It's really like a sci-fi. Love is like a sci-fi movie.
I'm a hell of a writer. If they can put my life in a movie, it's a masterpiece. Because the shit that I had to go, not even realize it, but you don't realize it when you going through it. You don't understand it until you got to go through some shit. And that's what I tell people. You got to fall. Your face got to hit the floor. And some people don't understand that because they never had to hit the floor. Yeah. And once they face hits the floor and you understand, like, dang.
Oh, this is how it feels.
This is how it feels. Yeah. Then you understand certain things that you need and want, and you get to rewrite your script. It doesn't always have to be based off your parents and what they did. Like, you could rewrite history.
Yeah. The way I rewrote it was I just basically said that as long as I do the opposite of my parents, then I'll be fine. And I realized that you get in a lot of trouble with women when you just literally just don't listen to them. Bruh. And I've noticed, just growing up with my dad and just like with boys and men themselves, they miss the mark on hearing, not just listening, but hearing what a woman's saying and then just being able to just perform the action of understanding what they're saying and not doing whatever. So those are my things. I was like, yo, if I do the opposite of what my parents are doing and if I just listen to what these women are saying, because women will actually literally tell you what they want every single time. I realized that I can get closer to a aspect of love or closer to connection with them. And I was wondering, like, what was it for you when you said, I'm just going to make it up? What direction did you go down?
I guess it was, I never grew up around a stand-up dude. Like, there was no stand-up individuals around me, like uncles. Everybody was doing X, Y, and Z. So it's like, me understanding, like, breaking that generational curse, if I ever wanted to find happiness in me, was rewriting my script. Like, I didn't want to be like my dad in any way. Yeah. I didn't want to be like my uncles. Even I had uncles that was married and stuff. Like, I looked at you like, yeah, you married, but I'm looking at y'all shit. Yeah, it ain't what it looks like from the outside. And knowing that and seeing how some people just don't live in their truths. Like, if you are a person who is non-monogamous, like, you can find that person for you. Yeah. Like, you don't have to go lie and cheat and do all that stuff. Like, and once you realize certain things like that, like, that's not the only thing, but there's certain things that people think if I'm this honest with somebody, I'm not going to find love and I'm not going to be happy. Once you understand that there is somebody for you that's going to be like, you know what? I accept that. And I accept it more because you're honest. Yeah. And if I go into it with you, I understand this is what you want. And if I decide to get mad during it, it's not your fault. Because you told me what it was. So I guess understanding that you don't have to lie about little things or big things. You can really just be yourself. That's when I was like, you can really write your own way, love.
I don't gotta follow you.
Yeah, I don't gotta be this dude who's like, yo, I'm married and then I'm over here doing this and then I gotta. It's like, nah. But even growing up, my mom's like, yo, whatever you do, just don't bring your dirt home. Even that alone is like, so you still sneaking. Yeah, but just don't.
So I got to do all of this shit. So I got to do it. It's like, and then I can do the extra stuff of not bringing.
If you really want to do all that stuff, you could do it because somebody's gonna accept that and be like, you know what? Yeah. So once I realized those type of things, it's like not just in the relationship, just everywhere. It's like I could just be myself, and if you don't like it, you don't have to stay. But I'm gonna be me.
I truly believe that this is alpha male personality. A lot of things that we're taught. That falls on the realm of toxic masculinity. It's just following the niggas that came before us that just did toxic shit.
It was horrible.
And there are plenty of times where we talk to niggas And we'll be like, but why? And they'll be like, well, you know.
That's how it is.
That's how it is.
So your grandfather was doing it. It's like, yo, bro, what about you? Like, why are you doing this?
Why are you trapped in the past? Trapped by the past. Oh my God, I can't stand.
I realized I didn't want to be that way.
Yeah.
So I'm still learning, and I'm still getting to a point of,
especially when you see all the sad faces that come from it,
bro,
and the hurt that comes from it. It's like, why do y'all even want to do this?
We didn't have to do this. Like I didn't have to lie to you. I didn't have to be somebody. A lot of people are being somebody that they're not, and they see other things which aren't always even the truth.
Yeah.
Like you could look at a relationship from the outside and you're like, dang, that's perfect. But you don't know what they go through.
Yeah.
And just because they're happy in their situation doesn't make you happy in yours.
Right. And I can also see like the misleading part of it, because we're young enough and impressionable enough as boys to be told, like, if you go about things this way, if you treat women this way, which is usually toxic, and then they'll get in line, and that's how you achieve, getting dinner on a plate of dinner at night, like every night with no question. It's like, no. And then you go about it that way, thinking like, oh yeah, this way I'm about to go about it. I'm gonna slap the shit out of this bitch, and she's gonna make my dinner tonight. It's gonna be great. She loves me.
Nah.
And it's like,
no.
Not it. So then when we finally get to the point of like, you slap her in the face, and then she just like, no, I'm calling the cops. I'm out of here. You're wilding, my nigga.
Now
you're confused.
You're in a whole nother, because
you're an abuser.
And you listen to the old nigga that said, well, I don't know, this is how I was raised.
How
it's like, yo, bro, you don't have, like you said, you don't gotta listen to that.
Right.
You can rewrite your own script.
Right. And I'm using I'm being hyperbolic. That was a good word. I'm being hyperbolic by using such an aggressive manner, but honestly, don't slap anybody in the face.
Some people got to hear it that way. That doesn't have to be what exactly it is. But if you don't hear the hard truth, you're going to tiptoe around it and always try to cut corners.
Boom. Because it is honestly that damaging. It's not that ferocious and not that visual, but it is that damaging when you're doing things to these women, saying things to these women, because you think that the person in the past, what they told you is true, and the results that you're going to get from it is true. And then when you do it and you don't get the results, and then you're sitting there stuck, and everybody's looking at you like, you a fuck nigga. All because you listen to somebody fast. And it goes into what you said about you're not even being yourself. And yeah, you're not, because you're listening to a nigga that grew up in 1965.
Totally different nigga. You ain't got to be him.
Yeah. Yo, you know what I also just realized? Do you know how old your mom was or your parents were when they had you?
My mom was 30. My dad was 40.
My mom was 27. We're literally talking about people who just developed their frontal lobe. Whose brains just fully developed, and they're just thrown in. Let's not even get into the environmental aspect of it, but they're thrown into this world with a child and just said, like, go on ahead, figure it out. And we're not really, we're led astray. Where some of us are trying to like do it on our own and just like figure it out on our own, but we don't owe, not even them, they didn't even have the proper tools to go about it that way. Yeah. So it's
in the wildfire. I mean, my mom was older. My dad was definitely older, and he lived a life and a half before that. But it's like, at the same time, I was his first boy, and he was like, I don't know what to do. And we've had this conversation eventually, but he just didn't know what to do. Yeah. Because he lived the street life, and then he moved into another world that wasn't a street life, but he had to always maintain a facade of him being somebody who he wasn't. And he was really a hood nigga in a world that wasn't really trying to accept hood niggas, but he deboed his way into the industry. So that's how he got his shit off. But at the same time, where was I? Yeah, I was not even a thought type shit. So it's a different world.
It is a different world. Even my dad, my dad is the son of like 30 kids. Shit, give or take, low 30s, high 20s, right? So he had to navigate having a dad who's not really paying attention. He's just like figuring out life is set on his own. But then he ends up being a man who has 4 kids by 4 different women. It's like, at least it ain't 28. That's not a good mentality, but that's the mentality they're coming from. And I think in a good way, it's up to us who see things in a different light that go, nah, that was fucked up. No, you still missed the mark, my brother. And then, things get better and better. But I do think our generation is one that's making the big leap to like really cut the shit.
To change. Yeah. I mean, I won't say all of us, but there are some good people out here trying to make a change, and you don't even have to be like the best person. You just got to be honest with yourself. And if you're not honest with yourself, if you lying to yourself, what makes you think you're going to tell the truth to somebody else?
Right. And a quick side note: I think we're in a generation where more men are calling out the dumb shit that men do instead of just chalking it up to the game.
I appreciate that if you are true to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I know niggas that's like, yo, boy, if I was to see you with a girl cheating on her and that's sis, I'm going to tell sis. And I'm like, yo, bro, you cheat on your lady every weekend and niggas is not telling on you. So what are you talking about if you see this? I was like, make it make sense. If you going to preach what you talking about, like practice what you preach.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that's like that, especially when it comes to these podcasts and shit. They just talk just because they have a platform, which... Do what y'all want to do with y'all own platform. I'm not mad at you, but don't give me advice that you don't take yourself.
Yeah, and I think that is the next level or the next step that we need to come into as men, and it's being an example. And being an example and then speaking on the things that we want to speak on. But it's not about men today, it's about you, my brother. So, now that you've developed this lover boy case, because you're like, I'm not going to be like my parents, right? What was it like when you found your first love?
What I thought was my first love?
What was it like? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Or what you thought was your first love.
See what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I mean?
you what you think is, it ain't really, I mean, I'll be real. Like, I was like head over heels. It was like high school.
It's always high school.
I think I just moved out here and and it was like, okay. I was in a relationship, all that stuff. And then I was a stand-up guy. Like, I'm not doing nothing. Like, you, my lady, I'm not. And then she cheated. And after that, Dennis the Menace. I was just running around doing whatever I wanted. And it was even a situation, she was like, yo, I know I fucked up. And I only found out about a kiss, but that shit hurt my heart. And it might have been more, it might have been less, but somebody told me. That was the sickest part. Somebody saw it. And it was like, yo, boy, I'm letting you know. I know you ain't come out tonight, but this is what I saw. It was like a shootout. And he was like, yo, your girl was there, such and such got her, and was like protecting her or whatever. And I was like, man, I don't believe you. Like, you bugging. Like, what?
Right.
So I told her, she was like, how could you trust him? Get mad at me, all this stuff. Kind of find out it was true.
Yeah.
And she was like, yo, we could break up. Like, I know you're going back home for the summer. We don't have to do this. We could just, when you come back, figure it out. I'm like, nah, we good. It's okay. And I went home and went crazy.
Oh.
And that being like the first time I felt in love hurt so much because in that time I thought it was love. Like, I put so much into that relationship, which was really.
I was buying, saying, they're gonna get cheese.
Yeah,
the hell?
I was staying at her crib all the time, like whatever. But I thought, like, dang, like, here I am trying to be a good guy. Mind you, I was raised by menace. Like, I was raised by straight killers. Like, I'm not talking about guns. Like, they had every woman under the sun, and that's what I saw. But I took the time to be like, I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
And I went a different route. And then me going a different route shot me back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Maybe the other route is the best route.
Maybe that's why they've been doing it this way for so long.
Maybe they were right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that. And that's what kind of turned me into something that, I mean, it was always like a part of me, obviously, because I've seen it and I was raised by it, but it didn't have to be my story. It didn't have to be at all. But little things like that, which now, as I learn, like, everybody's not the same. But for a while, I'm thinking everybody's the same. And it's not the last time that it happened to me. So it was like, when you get over something, then it happens again. You're like, yo, what? All right, I'm good. I don't want to do none of this no more. Yeah. So understanding that things can happen is one thing. Understanding that you as a person has to know your nose, and sometimes it is the best thing to do is leave and don't try to work on things if that situation hurts you that bad, because then you end up changing who you are. And then that person might think it's okay to do that because you accepted them back. And it's like, nah, there's somebody else that can help you with your shit, and there's somebody else better for you than that person. But you can't always say, and it's probably when we're young, we're like, this this is the one for me, and and it's like, yo, bro, you 16, champ.
Can you relax?
Like this, if I would have known what I know now,
Speak to little Ryan.
If I would have known everything that I was gonna run into and all the girls I was going to, oh my god, I'd have been like, boy, leave her, let's go. What's the next? But I didn't. And I was thinking like with my little heart, like, oh my god, this is the one, and I'm high school sweetheart, because of course that's what you want. Like you see that on TV. Oh, they met in high school and they're married and and it's like that just wasn't my story. Yeah. But I let it be my story, which ended up fucking me up.
Fuck you up. You know, it's always so interesting because I do hear a good amount of times from women how they say men go, boys got their heart broken in high school and never let it go for the rest of their life.
I don't give a fuck. So, yes. You shouldn't have did it. Why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? Because the nigga had a car, he's a little older than me, and getting to drive it. Like, so what? I don't care. You did it. You fucked it up. So, yes. Yes, we hold grudges. Yes, it might last longer than you want it to last, but when I want it to change, I'll change it. You can't make me change and make me feel bad about what y'all people did to me.
Not you people.
Y'all people did that to me. Your sisters and cousins, y'all sister soldiers, they fucked me up. So, yes, I ran with
it. The reason I brought it up was because, fuck, you made me laugh and forget.
Trying to say. Guilt tripping me.
You want to go down this road of being better, but unfortunately, we don't actually have the guidance to go down this road of being better. So then when we're not actually told, like, hey, you might run into a few heartaches, but don't worry, keep going. And I think that is the damaging part. It's a lack of leadership and mentorship on going down the good journey, because they're not really telling you, like, the good journey is going to have bumps, but it's the end goal is really going to make everything worth it. And so when we're not told, like, there's going to be a bump or a fork in the road or some missteps, when we encounter that bump and we look back at everybody taking the shortcuts, we're like, might as well take the shortcuts and just get a roster of bitches and just be happy.
Roll with the flow.
So I think it is more so beneficial to tell people, like you said, if we're going to go down this journey of being a better person, we're going to need some type of mentorship, which is also helpful in, like, these type of conversations to let people know, like, yo, the 16 years old is not the end of the journey. Your high school years are not the end of the journey. It's not even the beginning of the journey.
I'll be trying to teach the youth and talk to them a little bit. I mean, some are going to be like I was, hard-headed and not want to hear it. Yeah. But then others they just got to see, they got to see it in action. Like I said, you can't be preaching something and then go back and I'm like, what's going on? Yeah. And I had a moment with my little sister's old boyfriend years ago, and I meet him for the first time, and he's just trying to be like the most. He's like, yo, well, I really love your sister, and I just don't want to. And I say, yeah, bro. I said, I don't know who you trying to, and I'm not even saying he was a good kid, and I said, I'm just the wrong one. I said, I'm not about to sit up here and tell you some stuff that I don't do and I don't practice. I said, just make sure she's happy. I said, all this, I'm not going to do this, and I don't care about none of that because shit happens. I said, but just be true to yourself. I was like, just make sure she's good. Because the minute she's not, now it's a problem. But you give me all these false things that you think at a young age, at 19, 20, oh, this is going to be, you don't know what next year.
Yes, it is, Ryan. Yeah. It's going to be exactly like that. It's going to be great, and he's going to marry your sister. It's going to be perfect.
You think, and it's not, just like, because he ain't there no more, he probably going to think about it like, damn, he was right, because, just like that, you was gone. So it's like, you got to understand that things happen, you grow, you can't base everything off of what happened in the past, and everybody's not the same.
Yeah. Was that your first heartbreak too? That girl that you thought you loved and she get somebody else?
Yep. Yeah, that was it. And then there was another one. She did the same shit but worse. And it was just like thrown in my face, and I took her back, and then she did it again. And once I caught her twice, I'm just like, it was what's
happening here?
Yes, it was just a repeat thing. Not saying I was the best person in the situation, but it was nothing. She wasn't catching nothing. I wasn't even doing shit like that. But it just wasn't my time for that shit. Yeah. And it was like I kept catching her, and in a way, like I guess niggas got intuitions too. Like I'm like I know something going on. Like I know, and it was true.
Everybody has intuitions, by the way.
Yeah, of course. But you know, women think theirs is so much better. Well, I guess I'm like yours.
Okay,
man. I knew it was going down. So, and then it's just like it's like a repeat, and then to the point it's like I need to learn how to be alone, and I think that was the biggest part. And I was just telling my friends that we was having a conversation, and one of my boys is like, yo, like, she's mad at me again and this and that. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, yo, this is like the 5th time you telling us she mad at you in the course of a couple months. And I looked at him, I was like, yo, you ever looked in the mirror and said it might be you? And he was like, nah, I mean, I was like, yeah, bro, when's the last time you've been alone? Like, I said, I've known you for 5 years, and you've been in a relationship with somebody for 10 years, and then you weren't even out of that relationship yet, and you was already in another one. You have not been by yourself. I was like, do you know how to love yourself? Like, and people, guys gonna get defensive. What you mean? Like, how you telling me I don't know how to be alone? I've been alone so many times. I said, when, bro? I said, the last 15 years you've been in a relationship. I said, you 33.
Jesus Christ.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you see what I'm saying? But it's those relationships. You've been with somebody.
We listen, but we don't judge.
Yeah, like you 33, 34 years old, and you've been in a relationship. It was a 10-year, and then
that's half your life, my brother.
So when was you alone? When you was 15? Like that don't count. And sometimes people need to be by themselves, understanding you, because then you understand what you want and who you are. Yeah. Now I can say like, yo, you like fucking joints all the time. You have a thing where there's somebody that will accept you for who you are.
Yeah.
But you're scared to tell them who you are because you don't want to lose that person. That person might not be the one for you. Or they might be like, you know what? Let's take this journey together. And now
let's see where it goes.
Now you a pig in shit. You happiest man in the world. But you never know because you're scared to lose that person. Yeah. And when you're scared to lose that person, now you're hiding things. And now you get caught up. And now they don't want to fuck with you. So you're only going to make it worse for yourself. So once I said that, I mean, they listened or they didn't, whatever. It might be in one ear, not the other. But I understand, like, being by yourself is not always the worst thing.
Being by yourself isn't bad at all. Being alone isn't bad. People, what's that word that podcasters use? Conflate?
I don't know. I'm not a podcaster anymore. I got rid of that dictionary.
Podcasts love using the word conflate.
Yeah.
But they do conflate being alone with being lonely, right? And it's not the same.
Bro, I was alone for mad long, and I wasn't lonely.
No, yeah.
I wasn't lonely at all. And in fact, I was more annoyed with the joints I was talking to. Like, God, you serious? Like, this one. And it becomes a lot, and it's who you are as a person, if you can control it, if you can handle it or not. But it's like, after a certain point in time, then you realize, okay, cool. I've been alone this long. I've navigated through different relationships or situation, whatever you want to call it.
Even things with myself.
Yeah, and especially that. Like, I see what I don't like. I see what I do like. Yeah. I met some girls that have changed me in the ways of their thinking. So it's like, there's some situations that I had that I didn't think I could ever be in a situation like that. And they're like, nah, I'm doing, and they're being so honest and truthful to me. Oh, no, Rob, I'm doing this and that. And I'm like, you what? You're telling me you was just doing this with him? Or you're telling me I'm not the only... Yo. And I'm like, and I had to sit back, and I sat there, and I'm like, oh, wow. It hurts, but it's the truth. And now that I understand it, I can navigate it. Oh, it's like, now it's, yo, what was you doing last night? Yo, I met this girl last night. I'll be real. What y'all do? Was it good? And it's like, was it, what? You asked me, was it good? Oh, there's people out there like that. And if that's you, that's you.
Yeah. And I think that uneasy feeling of a woman telling you the truth, it plays into the part of the toxic rhetoric that we've been taught before. So then when we come across it, it feels like it hurts, and I don't think it's supposed to. I don't think, like, women going about it the way that they go about it and also being honest about it is actually supposed to be the way of the world, right? Everybody is on an equal plane, but, like we said, we've been led astray by the men before us, and so when it comes to, and most of it is not even like telling them what you should do as a man. A lot of it is really telling you what women shouldn't be doing and how they're supposed to operate. And god damn, niggas have been dead wrong. And so when it finally comes to the point, like, yo, this girl explored something out of my understanding. Oh man, that hurts. It's like, why would the truth hurt unless it's like drinking water after drinking soda for years. It's like, this water hurt. No, keep drinking the water.
Keep drinking the water, Champ, right? And then once you keep drinking the water, you're like, oh,
This is good for me.
But it's like a weight off of your shoulders. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
like, I don't gotta tiptoe around this. I don't gotta lie to you. I don't gotta do this. And I'm
This
not
is the
saying
secret right here.
it's just being and it's for everything. It's not just like being in a relationship with somebody and they're doing whatever and you doing whatever. It's everything. If you're really truthful about your intentions, yo, bruh, the world is. You could go out and look at another girl like, damn, she got the fatty.
Yeah.
Yo, babe, I just seen this girl. She got the
Yeah.
word. Let me see a picture. When you get that message
Oh,
back,
baby.
oh my God, it's
Ryan, don't tease me with a good time. I'm marrying a woman like that.
and this is what I'm saying, and I understand it, and it took me to get to a person that was like, yo, this is okay.
Yeah.
It's okay for that. And not saying that has to be you forever. That's why you just got to have your nose. Like, know your nose. Know who you are. Know what you want. And don't be afraid to say it, because the minute you find that person and they be like, yo, I'm with that. You like, it's too good to be true.
Too good
You
to
walk
be
down the
true.
street like this, smiling, like, yo, what's up? Nothing, man. And for men, I'll keep it real. It ain't even the thing of doing shit. Like, it's not the action of going out and having sex with multiple people. It's the fact that your lady will be like, yo, bring it, pull up, tell her, bring it. That, and it might never have to happen, bro.
About to shed a tear.
It's just to know that it's like, you okay with that?
Yeah.
I don't even want to do it.
it.
I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to do it. Cause you, god damn, come here, girl. Cause shit, you got like, I told you something out of like me being scared, and you like, babe, I was thinking the same thing. Like,
Oh, man.
and you like,
It's getting me further. The ancestors were wrong.
you like what? Because we live in a place right now that it's very monogamy is hard as hell if you let it be. Not saying you got to do other shit, but just for you to have thoughts, we gonna have thoughts.
Yo.
But that's what love is.
Yo.
Expressing yourself with your thoughts.
Yeah.
You can't tell me these married dudes that's been married, if they ain't have a thought about another woman, they don't even have to do it. It's a thought of it. But you got to bottle that up.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, on your phone, and not liking pictures and you just unliking. It's like, for what, bro? That's like, especially younger. I mean, not even younger, because I know why are you liking so many pictures on Instagram? That's what Instagram is for. It's for post pictures and like them. Like, what is the problem?
And if we got to have this conversation of you questioning my intentions, then this might not be a situation.
And that's cool. Yeah. You just gotta get along with that flow. And I'm not saying like just go against everybody's morals and stuff, but have a common ground. Like, if you know, and be yourself from jump, because I'm not trying to change up. And when we really get into some situation, and be like, well, you didn't. Oh, I didn't express that to you then because I was trying to win you up. Like, nah, I need you to know all this right now.
Yeah,
like, I be on here liking pictures sometimes.
Yeah.
You're not gonna catch me in no comments bugging out because I'm not gonna disrespect you, but a joint might hit me up. Am I gonna do something? Nah, probably not. If we together, but I'll let you know. I'm not gonna hide that shit from you, like, because I know niggas in your DMs going crazy.
So let's be honest about this. Let's have an honest conversation. Let's see where we stand in the world with each other, and let's go forward if we need to go forward, or not go forward this way and go forward another way, or just not go forward at all. But guess what? Nobody's time is being wasted.
Yep. And you don't not like me and hate me and spite. Nah, it's nothing about that. Like, you just on a different page.
So, Mr. Loverboy, Mr. Generational Curse Breaker, Mr. Fuck the Ancestors.
Not in February. Not in February.
Ryan said, fuck the black ancestors, they don't know enough about love.
They struggle.
They struggle. But at this point, when you're trying to write your own script and, trying to change the direction and the journey, what's something that you would say about yourself that makes you lovable?
That makes me lovable. I honestly just like full communication. Like, I like to. I mean, I'm affectionate, and I like to feel affection, but I also like a clear cut communication.
Yeah. So
I think that sometimes I over communicate sometimes. And I think that some people might not like it, but the people that do love it. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not scared to tell you nothing. Like, we go out and I see somebody, I'm like, let me tell you a story. I used to fuck with her. And now she's bugging. So just so you know, this is what it is. I don't care. If you care, let me know.
And we can adjust.
Like some girls want to be introduced to everybody. That's not gonna happen with me because I know too many people, and I don't feel like
mayor of LA.
It's just in general. I mean, I've moved around a lot in life, so it's like I don't feel like if it's important, yes. Yeah. If it means something, of course. But I don't want to introduce you to everybody in the. It's just me. I just don't want to do it. And if you want that, by all means, go say hi to them. But I'm not every time. I don't want to hear that. Well, who's that? Well, who's it?
Hey, this is what's happening. Let you know right now. I'm not bothered. I'm not pressed. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. But I'll communicate. You good? Everything all right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And if you communicate back in the right way, then we cool.
I've realized that communication is like drinking water after having soda for a few years to some people.
Yeah.
Because
they don't know how to do it.
You can honestly tell people the truth, and there are people in this world that just rather live in the ignorance. The ignorance and bliss is really a dominant practice for them.
Yeah, but people rather live in the dark.
Yeah, and
it's like if they don't know it, they cool about it, and it's like, you sure?
Similar to avoiding being alone, right? It's like if I put myself in that space, then there's some type of accountability that I have to take. There's some type of practice and work that I have to do. And I don't want to do all of that. So for all of that, just don't tell me shit. Keep me in the dark, and let's keep this trauma going, baby.
And it's like, nah, I'm cool. I need you to know. Because if you in the unknown, and then the day you find out something, now it's World War III. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be around it. I'm very unconfrontational when it comes to that type of stuff. I'll just, if I don't fuck with you, I'm in the room like you're not even there. I'm walking by you. I'm not saying hi. I'm not doing none of that. I just don't fuck with you. You'll know it.
That's it.
It's cool.
Keep it simple.
I'm cool with that. We don't gotta argue and scream. Nah, I'm good, man.
Too old.
Too old.
What's marriage looking like for you? Are you interested?
Yeah.
Running down that direction?
Yeah. Everybody's marriage looks a little different.
Yeah.
Mine's, I'm not gonna say it's traditional or typical. I really don't know yet, but I see it. I see family. I see kids. I see all that. Like my friends know when I got kids, it's over. It's up.
Family, man. You do all that head ass stuff, Christmas photos, Jersey back. Come on, you gotta do match your pajamas.
I'm gonna do mad pictures. I'm not saying I have to be in all the pictures, but I'm gonna take mad pictures because my mom sucked at pictures. People, my aunt will send me pictures. I'm like, yo, who the hell is this? Oh, that's you. I'm like, word. Like shit, like this. I got the same rotating baby pictures all the time. Like I post the same shit. So
that's part of the script. Take more, fall in love. Take more pictures.
Like make more memories. So that's big for me right now. Yeah. Like, doing that type of stuff. But I mean, when it does happen, I'm not saying there's no timeline on it. Like I said, my dad had me at 40. My dad, I also have siblings that are 8-9 years under me from my dad. So he had them at 48, 49. I'm 35. In my timeline, I'm cool. And
it's so different when you have parents that when people have different parents that do different things, because once my mom and dad, they were 27, 28, 29. My mom was 27. I'm not sure. My dad was 28 or 29. But once I started getting around that age, I was like, oh my God, do I need to hurry up?
Yeah, facts.
Am I late?
But since my pops was 40.
Yeah, but you're like,
nigga, like, yo, have a kid.
The rush?
When you gonna have a kid, Rob? I'll be like, yo, my pop's 40.
What do you say?
And when I bring my pops around, the girls be going, oh my God, you know how many DMs I get about my pops, bro? Yo, girls, tell your dad. I say, yo, bro. So one girl hit me like, yo, where's your fine dad? I want to set up with my mom. I said, how old is your mother? She said, what does that matter? I said, because he talks to girls your age. I said, you trying to hook him up with somebody 60? It's quiet, bro. Yeah. Like, you see him. You talking about fine. He looking at you. So I look at that, and it's like, I'm talking about pops just now. I'm like, yo, what you up to? Yeah, I'm chilling, met some joint. Yeah. She young. I mean, she 50-something, but she's young to me. My pop's 75. Like, he like, yo, got somebody daughter pulling up later. And I'm like, but that's also the world I'm trying to get away from. It's like, damn, when is you going to be done, bro?
Yeah, I don't want to be doing that kind of shit at my 70s. I want to be able to sit back and be like, hey, babe.
I mean, he could do that. He does do that. But it might be multiple. It might be different ones every month.
But, juggling it at that age.
He said he's not a pimp. He's a trick at this point in his life. That's what he said.
Okay, well, yeah. I don't want to be a trick.
He said, look. He said, I got a couple of dollars. That's what I said, yo. Yeah. But it's like, that's your life. I don't have to live that.
Yeah.
I'm flipping the switch. I'm going somewhere else. Not saying that I don't want to be doing my thing with somebody at 75, but I don't need to be doing it with
Yeah.
Everybody.
I mean, that's his energy and that's his stance. I got tired of that shit before I even hit my 30s. So everybody is different.
But you was never mind.
Well, I started early, so I guess that is also a different case.
I mean, it was early.
Like, as in what?
What you talking about, nigga?
Started dating?
Whatever you talking about, I want to know what's
I started
early.
being into women like a very early age. Like, I was into girls at like 8, 9. Like, I lost my virginity at 9 years old. So like I was into, and I'm talking earlier, but as far as like the interest in women.
Oh yeah.
Like so by the time I'm in my 70s, I'm not that interested to be like I need mad. No, I was.
But I also think it depends on you because I feel like
that's
my pops was the same. My pops was running the household at 10.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty sure he was looking at cheeks.
Yeah. But he's. I think also the older generation, they're coming from a more like I had to be an adult at a younger age.
Facts.
We got to be more curious at a younger age. My curiosity is just girls.
Yeah. Me too. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was only curious for one thing, but I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've done a lot, and I'm 35 and I have conversations with certain people that are my age or even older, and I hear them talking about their little experiences, and I'm like, if you only knew.
Yeah.
You and
Not
those
little experience.
Yeah, it's
That's
like,
cute.
oh, I had to, it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
That's nice.
Except I tell you, you're not going to believe. You probably think I'm lying.
Yeah.
This nigga lying about him.
I got to tell you about Ryan. I might bring you on for a Patreon episode. Ryan experiences over here. I thought I was guala.
Lord have mercy.
But we're talking about love.
Yes. This is not that type of podcast.
Not that episode. We are talking about love, and you're writing the script on love. What is the definition of love to you? Answer good, because this is one of the questions where I actually listen back and I learn. And I become a better person.
I might not be the best person for that question right now. Love to me changes every day.
Yeah.
Every person is different when it comes to love and how you treat them and what their words are and how their actions and their feelings. I think my love has changed in the past 6 months.
That's gross.
Compared to where I was last year with love.
Yeah.
I think now it looks a little different. It's painted a little different. I feel like love's like Etch-a-Sketch. Like sometimes you just gotta modify it a little bit and get to where you gotta get. And right now my modification for love is just being happy. Like I told somebody that, like I was talking to somebody like 7, 8 months ago, and they were like, "So what do you want, Ryan?" And I'm like, "I want to be happy," and they stopped talking to me. And recently, I had a conversation with them, not even on I'm trying to talk to you. It was just a conversation. And I had to let her know, I'm not trying to get back in your life. Just letting you know we are friends. Nothing more, nothing less. And I put those boundaries down. And I was like, she was like, well, when I asked you, what did you want? You said happy. I was just like, oh, I know what type of guy he is. I said, no, that was your time to ask me what happiness is.
Yeah.
I said, and you didn't. I said, you ran away from the situation and you ignored me and you did that. All I was saying was, I want to be happy. Did you ever want to know, what made me feel this way or what was not happy about my past? No. So my happiness is 1,000 different things. And I said, I've been through a lot of trauma and drama and shit, and which I thought was in happy situations, and it wasn't. So when you ask me what I want and I say I want to be happy, that can mean you. That can mean just you. It can mean you and someone, but you're not asking me these questions. So now, what makes me happy is communication, and that's what turns into love for me. My love right now is just somebody understanding me and taking the time to listen to me and pour into me as if I was them. Yeah. And once you do that, then the reciprocation is 1,000 times. And I even do it first, but it all depends on the person. Some people just aren't ready for that
at all.
So my love is just it's not a revolving door. It's not going to be the same thing and all that. It's very much so a new chapter all the time. And that's how I want love to be. I never want it to be one thing. I always want it to change around because that spices the shit up. That makes it more than just love.
And then you can see all the different ways you can be happy.
Exactly. And I don't have to be trapped in this one version of love. And in 10 years, she's like, well, that's not why we fell in love. And it's like, what you mean? The first month we dated, it was this, and the next month we dated, it was that. Then you're like, oh, okay, you can love in different ways. Yeah. And that's what I'm learning more about love. It just doesn't have to be that cookie cutter. Oh, it means when I love you, when you love me, and I feel this way, and I never cheat, and you never do that, because that's not going to be real love. Things happen, and you could still love that person, but you just have to navigate through it, and you have to know how to fix your love in a way that it doesn't necessarily break you up on the first piece of hurt.
Right. And I believe, if I can assume correctly, that is what women are learning on their side. Is you do these things, and then you're gonna get love. Mm-hmm. You do these certain things, and a man's just gonna fall for you. But when a man asks for certain things, just like, this don't sound like the direction I'm supposed to go down for a nigga to love me. So what do you mean you want to be happy, nigga?
Yeah, because on the other half, like, your partner has to understand love too.
Yeah.
It can't just be what I want in love, and I think that's what people got it fucked up. Like, my love, you all expect that person to love you like that. Their version of love might not be that. They might have been raised by a mother and a father. Mm-hmm. So they look at love in a whole opposite way. Doesn't mean we can't love each other. It just means their love is a different definition.
Yeah. Love, happiness, all these all these things always look so differently depending on like how you're raised. And that's something that I'm learning. I've even just having these conversations, these one-on-one, and just finding like the origin of like where people's loves come from. I'm starting to realize that it's the obvious part of doing this, that people and how they grew up and how it transforms and shows up in their adulthood is really what is the structure of like how like happiness and love like shows up for them right now. Mm-hmm. I truly didn't realize how impactful it was. Like, and I know it just sounds like, oh yeah, obviously, nigga. But for me, like, I really didn't realize that, like, oh shit, if you have two parents but one of them is not that attentive, that it's really gonna fuck you up until 35. Mm-hmm. Like, I was just like, oh, you got two parents, one didn't show up. Fuck it, you be all right.
You got it. Yeah. It's like, oh,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
That's your path. This is mine. We all the same, but it's like, nah.
No, we all really are different, and there are little similarities that like bind us together, but you really got to find out more about somebody and their origin, and it could really help you maneuver with them in the future. And these are conversations that I hope that people listen to, and they also want to implement it in their own relationship. Like, take these questions right here and just ask your person, and then see what comes up, and then maybe you have more of an understanding of why they don't like doing dishes.
That's all it is. It's everybody was raised. My mom always said everybody wasn't raised like you, because I used to get really frustrated with people with no common sense. Mm-hmm. She was like, yo, Rye, everybody wasn't raised the way you are. Yeah. And once you realize people's households and the way they were, grew up is different, then you can understand somebody a little bit better. Yeah,
and you have a bit more grace.
Absolutely.
You had said something when I had asked you that question about love, and you said like it changes like how you treat somebody. Mm-hmm. So how are you with the current love that you have? Like, how do you treat somebody with that?
I just try to express to them as much as I can, whenever I can, how much I appreciate them. Mm-hmm. If there is something wrong, my love is not always good. Like, if there's something wrong, I need to tell you that it's wrong, because I don't want to not love you less by holding in something that I could just said and we got over it. Like, and I feel like that is a big part of love, knowing that you can disappoint someone, knowing that you can fall to the ground, and I'm not perfect. This is not going to be a perfect situation. So let's get this notion of perfect relationship out the window now. But I'm able to turn that around and say, look, this is how I feel. This is how I want to communicate this to you. How do you want to communicate this back to me? And once we have that common ground, then it's like, okay, that's what love is. And that's in friendships, in relationships, in whatever ship you want to be on. Mm-hmm. That is the key to it. Just like I said, it all comes down to just expressing who you are, communicating who you are, being honest. Because once you're not honest, then it's a dub.
Yeah. Communication, honesty. It's really crazy that when we ask these questions, like, what do you want in a relationship? What is love like for you? I'm like, I just want them to communicate and be honest. And
you don't.
Back to that example thing, people in themselves aren't the example of good communication and good honesty, and it's not even coming across with them. So they're asking for it, and they actually don't even know like how to go about it with having a good communication, being really honest with somebody. And it's honestly just really sad to see, because it is the right thing to say, and it is the constant rhetoric, but I believe it's the least practiced.
Yes, it's the actions behind your words.
Yeah,
I can say I want communication all the time and not communicate. Like, even when it comes to little things, if I can't like we were supposed to be at 11 this morning, I didn't have to reach out yesterday and be like, yo, boy.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you hit me like, yo, we still good for tomorrow? Yeah, we are. But let's move that shit to later in the day because right now I'm hurting. Some people I know won't communicate that until today. Yeah. And it's 11, yo, bro, my fault. I can't. And it's like, yo, bro.
You could have
you've been sitting there twiddling your thumbs, not doing. You could have texted me that. So, like, those little things. Yeah. Just saying the stuff that you might not make you feel comfortable. But even if it makes somebody feel uncomfortable, at least you was honest.
Yeah. And oh, God, man. It's like the fear of retaliation for being honest. Wild. For being honest is so embedded in us and a lot of people that they don't even move forward, which I believe is a toxic learning that I've gotten from a man or gotten from men of like, you can't say that shit. She gonna react like this, which then makes you hold things in, and then it's embedded in you, and then that's how you go about things, even in little shit. Like, you can't even fucking hit somebody up, no, like, yo, I can't make it at a certain time, with not just hitting them up, but with ample time, because because it's sitting in you like, yo, should I say something?
And then by the time you do it,
it's late. Like, you could have just said something. And the reason why this really sits with me, this specific conversation, because I had something recently happen with somebody, friend, acquaintance, whatever, where what was happening real time, and they weren't even communicating. They were just
waiting
for somebody else to say something. And it's like, yo, speak up, my G. Something. Like, say something. Like, you're worried about saying the right thing.
You're not always going to be right. Saying, you're not always going to be right.
Right, so let's figure this out.
When you communicate with somebody, they could be like, you know what? Damn, I was just about to hit you and say that time wasn't going to work anyway. Now you're like, oh, I feel so much better about it. But it's like, let me get ahead of it, because I never want to be the person that's like, yo, Rod did this and he did. It's like, no, I told you. Yeah. I told you I couldn't. I told you I could. And just keep your word. Like, communicating and keeping your word, bro. Right. That's what you made it.
But lack of communication is never in. Something I just taught myself is that, like, the only wrong thing is to do nothing. Like, if you're gonna be wrong, but at least you said something. You're gonna be wrong, at least you communicate. At least you were honest. This is honesty when it's like actually how you feel in your truth isn't wrong, right? It's just all perspective, and we all live like different lives and we all live in like millions of different worlds on one earth. Like, you really got to bring that honesty to the forefront, because that's what's going to navigate you in the right direction towards the right people and in the right situations. Yep. Your boy was just spitting just now.
He was. What do they call that? Potting? That's
potting. Your boy. We potting, baby.
I forgot. It's been a while.
You still got it, player.
I'm still here. I haven't done this in a long time.
Yeah. But and another part that I just wanted to add on to that was when it comes to honestly communicating with women, and I realized this at a younger age, in my young age of 20s, because I'm a mature man now. I realized that, and I had to tell a woman this, that women aren't always necessarily better at communication. Actually, to be honest with you, a lot of women are actually bad at communication, in my opinion. Men just don't communicate, but that doesn't make them worse. And I do think men, it is wrong that you don't communicate, because there's only wrong move to make. But we all need to improve on how we communicate, because just because you do communicate doesn't mean you're a good communicator. You could just be rambling and also making the situation worse with the way you communicate. So I think we all need to do some work on also speaking, but also knowing how to speak. I do want to ask you this question. It's one of my favorite questions, and this is the question where I think that I learn from men the most. And I'm assuming that you're a smart person, so you can
don't assume too much. Let me hear this question first.
But my question for you was, like, how can men handle love better?
I think expressing yourself to your friends is on top of that list. You can't know what you're doing right or wrong if you don't have a set of peers to tell you what you're doing that's right or wrong. Yeah. So if you're trying to find like validation in people, in love, or in your relationship, it's hard to navigate that when somebody's not keeping it real with you. you could lie to yourself all you want, but when you go to your boy and it's like, yo, bro, this how I feel about this, and they be like, no, that's how you can understand that love a little bit better and working with someone. You have to be able to go talk to people about it. Like, don't just ball your feelings up or be like, people, oh, you got to go talk to the lady. Yeah, you might need to go talk to the lady. But you also should have a support system around you that you could talk about certain things. And it's not always, of course, your friends are going to joke and do all this stuff, but it got to be a place where I can be like, yo, I can hit my mans up and say how I feel about this situation. Yeah. And unapologetically, he can tell me what it is, whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, whether she's right, whether she's wrong, whether you feel like, look, I don't know if this is for you, like maybe you need to do this, and you don't take that offensive. Like, you can actually sit back and you can tell me about myself without me getting all tight about it and not wanting you to finish your sentences. And but it's like, nah, bro, just hear me out. Like, after we can talk about it, but just hear me out first. And once you're able to express how you feel in general to your friends that you talk to about, I mean, y'all talk to each other about everything. Why can't it be about something meaningful?
Right.
So why can't it be about love? Why can't it be about relationships? Why can't it be about family? You need to be able to express that to the people that you talk to the most. And then once you get that, once your peers validate you, like your people, it's like, who is that? Who's to tell me no now? Like, I know I'm in a good place because I trust them and they're not lying to me because they actually told me I need to fix up. Yeah. And say, look, if I want this, you ever looked in the mirror? Like I said, you ever thought it was you? Yeah. Like, let's stop blaming everything on, why she always doing this? Like, bro, first time, cool. Why is she doing that? But now it's 6 times. Why is she doing that?
Yeah. Let's sit back and reflect, my brother.
Let's unpack this, bro. Like, why?
Unpack this, bro.
Yeah, why did she go through your shit 10 times? It's like, oh, well, yeah, sit your ass down.
Yeah, stop doing too much. Yeah. Stop giving her a reason.
Make it feel comfortable. But I think dudes, especially, I don't know how the white world works. I know how my black friends are, my family. Sometimes we're scared to talk about that stuff to each other, especially black men. Sometimes we're scared to be vulnerable with our friends. Yeah. And I think that's the key to that question right there.
I agree with everything you said. My tidbit to add to that is,
add it up.
Everything we've spoken about today that's geared toward or veered towards speaking towards like women in love, it actually is very applicable to your friendships as well. Moving in a direction that you do with trying to find love, and moving in the direction that you do with trying to find consensual relationships is so very similar how it like warps and wraps up like in your life. And sometimes we even have more grace for our friends, right? But everything we said, like when you're trying to find love, if you see the script on like how people are with their friends and their friendship is like fucked up, but they're still like dragging this friendship out. It's like how you go about loving your friends, how you go about like having heartbreaks with your friends, and how it affects you with other friends that you show up like in the future. Like, yeah, I remember when these niggas was talking crazy like this. So if niggas talk crazy like this to me again, friendship's over. Facts. It's like we have to have some type of maturity and growth when it comes to not only loving our spouses, loving our friends, but just loving everybody in the world, right? And the things that we've spoken about today are very applicable within the love that you can have for your male and or female friends. Respect. Killed it today. Killed it today.
I'm back.
I'm back. One thing that I like to have our guests do before we get out of here is a dedication piece where you can dedicate some love to anybody in the world. So I really want you to give you this time so you can, send some love to somebody.
You've been trying to set me up
all the time, baby. All the time.
All pod.
Ryan about to cry. Go to our YouTube, youtube.com/love like this, and see Flyry drop half a tear.
It's probably never going to see that. That's probably another part of unpacking love. Is crying, and that's just something I don't know how to do yet.
I'm going to tell you this. I fell in love with this woman. I've cried more in the 3 or 4 years that I've known her than my whole life. So I've cried more in 3 years than I have in 33. It's crazy, including my infancy.
Well, I have, more than me. I'm dedicating this to somebody I love. Is that what you're saying? I could dedicate this to my parents.
Yeah.
I had my first Christmas ever with both of my parents in the same room this past Christmas at the age of 35. And it was more about seeing everybody else in that room happy. Yeah. I guess they were happy for me, but it was like they were just happy in general. Seeing that happen. And no, they're not together or getting back together, but me sitting back, I saw myself more quiet in this space than I thought I would be, and me just looking. So understanding that my parents are getting older and the lack of love that I got early on is a reflection of who I am, but it's not the definition of me. So loving those two people unconditionally, whether they're going through their sicknesses and all that stuff, and finally getting to put them in one room, in one space, where we can all just show that type of whatever love we have.
Yeah,
meant a lot. So I can dedicate this part to my mom and my father, which is probably the first time I can say that. But I needed that moment just to have more clarity on what I wanted to be.
Love Like This exclusive. Flyry has dedicated love to not only his mother, but his father. Love Like This exclusive. Exclusive. Exactly. My brother, yo, thank you so much for coming out here, man. Yo, every time I talk to you and every time we have conversations, few and far between, we need to hang out more. But we always learn more about each other, and I always honestly learn that we have like so much more similarities than the last time we spoke. Yo, thank you so much for pulling up, my brother. I love you, my man. It's like you're a brother. You're the best, my brother. Appreciate you. Now that you're back pocket.
Now that I'm back potty.
Let the people know where they can find you.
Oh, God. I ain't gonna make this shit about me. You can't find me in too many places. I'll be in the house. But I got couple of things I'm working on. I have a new artist right now. Nice. His name's Ryan Witherspoon, and we've just been dropping music, and we're gonna continue to drop. And yeah, everything else is. And I'm working on an R&B album too. That's coming too. And I'm not singing. I'm not doing none of that. It's all behind the scenes stuff, but it's getting me back to loving music again. Between Ryan, not me, the artist, and this R&B album, like I'm starting to really love music again, and it's making me happier and happier every day. So I want to thank Fabe for letting me be on this project, and I want to thank Ryan for popping up into my life at the time that I fucking needed it. So,
nice. He's fired?
Come on now.
He whacked now, right? What you think?
That's why I didn't like music. I left it because it was whack.
Yeah.
And this shit has brought me back to life. I'm on a rap side and I'm on an R&B side, and it's great. So
I love to see it because I already know you have a deep love and understanding for music.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see you back in that space because that's what made you a celebrity. Listen, y'all. YouTube, Love Like This. Love Like This everywhere. Hoochie Mom and Dad for Mila and I. I'm a fiance now, y'all. For real. Mm-hmm. Ryan was there and he saw it in person.
I had the best video.
Ryan did have exclusive.
You know, I had this, but you know, it's not about me. It's about your love, my brother. Just happy to see you shine. You know.
Nah, I appreciate you so much for being there. I was really in a space engulfed by love, and I've never been in a more like concentrated space of like love directed towards me and Mila, and that shit felt so good.
Yo, bro.
Yo,
you came from a place, bro.
I came from a place.
Yo, I remember when you first got here.
Yeah. And
the conversations that you were having about work.
Yeah.
And I told you, let that shit go. Do your thing. And
here we are now. Yeah, and seeing everybody that was there, I was really looking around like, yo, these are the people that I've cultivated and within my like personal space and within my relationship since I've been here, since the 2.5 years since I've been here. And it's like, oh man, this was beautiful to see. Like going down on one knee, you haven't experienced it yet. You haven't experienced it yet.
Why are you talking to me like he's the king of this right now? He just did it. Yeah, you know, you don't know what I'm talking about. But getting on the knee.
Yo, but honestly, I was so nervous and so stressed out about doing it, right? Because I'm practicing. I'm going down on knee, right?
I saw you.
I was like, how's it gonna be when I get down there? So I was like, yo, what's gonna happen? And then as it's happening, and it's the time because my engagement was January 11th, 1/11 at 11:11 p.m. So also a part of that was once I get there, I can't go back. So I have to.
Over.
And Mila is about a foot shorter than me. So I'm in front of her, I kiss her, and I look at her. And then the most nervous part of getting down on one knee in front of everybody is about to come, and I can't feel my body or my legs. I can't physically feel my right leg, but all I see is that I'm looking down at Mila, and then we're eye level, and now I'm looking up at her, and I'm down on one knee. I'm like, oh shit, how'd I get here? And I was like, gotta get it. Let me get it. I'm ready here. Get it over. Get it over.
I'm looking like,
gotta get the rig, man. And then it was all worth it. Just like that.
There we go.
Love like this, before, during, after falling in love. Peace.
La, 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 like this.